Hi everyone, welcome back to Kat's Book Corner, where we talk about all things book and bookish. Today is my final wrap up of June, and I only finished 2 more books, so it wasn't a great month. I think I only read 5 books this month, which isn't really good for me. And one of them was a reread, but the books we read were Red, White, and Blue and Imposters. And also, I am really excited because the book I will be reading next is Iron Flame, and will be starting trying to start my reading vlog of this and Onyx Storm. So that's exciting. I'm really excited for that, but let's get into talking about the actual books we read. Starting with, obviously, spoiler, non-spoiler parts, as normal. Okay. Red, White, and Blue. This one was 5 stars, which was amazing, and I loved it, and it was great. It's about the president's son, Alex, and a prince of England named Henry, who it's like kind of enemies to lovers sort of thing. It's adorable and cute, and it deals like a lot, which I like, so there's that. There's so many like characters that I enjoy. I also did watch the movie after I read the book. Obviously the book was better, but the movie was pretty great actually too. I really liked the movie as well. But I really, really loved it. It was really good. And this is my first MM romance, and I really liked it. Like a lot. Which I hoped I would, because I spent, not really, but like, I spent a while like looking for this book to buy it because it wasn't at my normal bookstore, so I had to go to a different one. So I am really, really happy that I read it. And I do love how, like, even though they become lovers later, it like goes from like the enemies to fake friends kind of to like just actual friends, which like the way the relationship like grows is really, really good. And I really liked the depth they put into it, and like all of the characters had like a lot of depth. Like you like knew like their reasonings, except for one, because his reasonings were secret until the end, but when you know, but like it still was really, really good. And the movie did change a lot. Not that I wasn't okay with what they changed, because some of what they changed was fine. Like I didn't really mind certain things that they changed, but I really, really do really like it. It was so good. Ugh. And honestly, it was like, it was crazy that I enjoyed it as much as I did. Like I finished this I started the first chapter when I was outside in the heat, and it sucked, so I could only really read one, and then I was like, it's too hot, I'm gonna stop. So I only read 1 chapter that day, but then I read like most of it like when I was at home. So I think I only had 4 chapters I didn't read in the same day, so I read a lot of it in the same day. So I really, really liked it. It's really easy to read too. Like I wasn't confused at all. I was able to get into it really easily. It was good. And I love how it has sort of like, where is like an example? But it has, there it is. It like has structures of like their emails and stuff. That's different than the actual structure of the book I liked. And it also has like their text and stuff, which was good. So I really liked that. And there's other parts I'll explain in the spoiler part that like I really, really liked. And it kind of made me tear up a little bit, which it was just so good. The movie also made me tear up a little bit, so I think that's like, the movie was actually well done if it still made me tear up at the exact same points that the book did. So I will applaud it for that, because I really, really did love the book. And the movie was alright. I'll get into why I didn't like the movie as much into like the spoiler part, because part of why I didn't like it as much as the book is because of what made the book better, in my opinion. Alright, moving on to the next book I read, which was the last book of June, Imposters by Scott Westerfield. This is sort of, I mean, it is a continuation of the Ugly series, although this takes place like an age after the Ugly series. So I don't think you necessarily have to read the Ugly series, because I didn't. I actually didn't like the Ugly series. I tried the first book, I couldn't get into it. So I stopped. And that was like years and years ago when I tried to read that one. And I couldn't. I could not do it. I do not know why I couldn't do it. I just didn't like it as much. So I didn't read it. But I found this one. And it has twins, which I always love a good twin story. So it has twins. And there's so much like psychological stuff. Like this is like, it's sort of like a high school or middle grade book, which I don't read as often. Yes, I do read a lot of middle grade books like Harry Potter, and like Six of Crows is sort of middle grade, and the Natural series is definitely middle grade because, well, they're not like adult books, which is fine. I don't mind them. I read them all the time. But I read this one. It's about these two twins, Freya and Ralphie, I think is how you pronounce it. And one is the one the public knows about, and the public doesn't know about the other one. So like she's switching in and out when there's public appearances. And there's a lot of like psychological stuff that I honestly don't know how like it was able to be in this book without it being a more mature rating for this book. Because I mean, I think it's because I don't think kids would catch on to the stuff that I can catch on to now. Because there is like stuff that happens. Like the girls in this book, like even if they have a conclusion in the rest of the series, which I haven't read, they're not gonna be okay. Like they're not gonna be okay. They're like, they have problems, which were explained. But it's about these two twins, and their dad sends the twin who no one knows about, like the imposter basically, as like part of a treaty to this other kingdom place. It's dystopian future. Like they talk about like the world that we're in, like in the way past. So like there are certain, like the area, like the country, the world is like the same, like because they live in the same like countries and stuff. So it's like it's similar. And there are certain words that are like you wouldn't get it if you didn't read the Ugly series. So there are like certain things like that, but it's easy to like figure out what those words mean without reading the Ugly series, which I didn't. So I still enjoyed it. 3.75, I forgot. I don't know if I said that, but it was good. I really enjoyed it. It's just not great. As I said when I picked my TBR this month, I didn't think this one would be like a 5-star. I knew it was probably going to be like the 3 to 4 range, but I really enjoyed it. I love the ending. The ending is so good. I think there's a second one, so I can't wait to read that to figure out like where it goes. Because I really, really like that. And it's a little romancy. Like there's a little romance, which it's cute. I like it. And it's why I love the ending, I think, because of the romance. So there's a lot I do like about it. Also, I finished this one in a day. It's very easy to read. I think it might be because it's like for lower aged people. And also it's just easy to read. Like the words are, well, they're kind of big, but not really. And the chapters are very, very short. Like that's what I love. I love short chapters. And it's only like, I think exactly 400 pages. So it's very easy to read. So I really liked that. It was good. But I do like the like coming into your own sort of story, and that's kind of what this is, like learning how to become your own person. I love those types of stories. I read a lot of them. Like Fourth Wing is one of them. Harry Potter is one of them. Zodiac Academy is one of them. Like even ACOTAR is one of them. Like I love the coming into your own stories, learning how to be like your own person when you were forced to be like something else for years and years and years, and you finally learn how to be who you are. And it's like you get two versions of that because there's two twins who are kind of forced to be the same person. So it's like you get growth in two areas, which I really love. I love the dystopian feel of it. I read dystopian books. Like I read Divergent and a bunch of other ones. Although I didn't like Divergent. I thought it was boring. But I did love this one, so. But if any of you have read the Ugly series, and it's been a while since I've tried it before, like I was, I think maybe 16 when I tried it the first time. So if any of you have read it, please comment down below and see if it is worth it. Because this has made me slightly more interested in the Ugly series. So I might try it. Which I did the same thing with Demon King and Flamecaster, because they're in the same world, yet one's a sequel series to the first one, and I read the first book in the sequel series before I read the first one in the original series, and the sequel series kind of got me into the Demon King, and I like the Demon King way more than I like Flamecaster, although I still did like Flamecaster, so it's like, I don't know, I'm doing it in the wrong order, but I still enjoy the journey to get there, I guess. Alright, let's get into spoiler thoughts. River and Blue. I love Alex and Henry. They are adorable together. They are perfect together. They're amazing. I love his sister June too, who was willing to sacrifice so much in order like for her brother to be happy, because her brother just kept pushing himself, because that's like a way that he felt covered for himself when his like parents were going through their troubles. Which in the movie they didn't have them divorced, which to be honest, I didn't mind, because there wasn't enough screen time for it to feel like they were married. And also, we don't get much of the stepfather in the book, so it's like, it felt fine to me that they were married in the movie. A problem I had with the movie is that Princess Catherine wasn't in it, and she was one of my favorite characters. Well, towards the end, she was kind of like not existent until like the last couple chapters. But like her in those last chapters was just, maybe 47 years is too much to be on the ground. Maybe I take power, which is like, yes, go girl. And I think partially half the reason might be because my name is Catherine. So it's like, yes, I love reading when my name's in the book. I think it's so fun. I also liked the characterization of the president in the movie. She felt like more like a real person, I guess. Not that I didn't like her in the book. I liked her in the book, but she felt more fleshed out in a movie, which is weird for me. So there's that. But I loved like the texting and like the emails that they shared back and forth, like sharing their feelings. And they had like a quote that ended each of their emails with like a historical figure who was part of the LGBT community, like in the past, like so, like they had to keep these letters secrets. I was like, oh, it was great. And like the little like subplot that's happening where the what's his face, the opposing person of his mother's campaign literally sent people to spy on him to figure out who he was dating and figure out like that it was the prince and like leak it, which is why his friend in the Senate, I think he was a senator at least, Lunam, he joined the campaign, like the opposing campaign, and like kind of broke all the friendships he had with the Claremonts, which kind of sucks because he didn't know why he was doing it. But then he revealed like he had a past with this guy and he wanted to take him down, so he took him down from the inside, which was great. I loved that, because he's the character you don't know like what his reasons are until the last chapters when you like get his reasons, which is great. Oh, I just love the romance, and the ending is just, it's so like sweet, because he's like, because Henry's like, he comes out to his family, he's like, I'm going to be this kind of prince. And what he does is he's like, I'm gonna buy a place in like Brooklyn, and I'm gonna live there and help these shelters, the LGBTQ plus like shelters to help people. And Alex is like, you know what, maybe I don't want to go into a political career. I don't want to push myself that hard. So he's like, you know what, I'm going to become a civil rights lawyer to help like people who were in my situations. I'm going to help them. He's like, you know what, maybe I'll just go in New York where Henry is, so then they can be together, because they like were coming to the point where like, well, we can't see each other that often. It's, It was so cute when they fly back and forth, finding reasons to be with each other. It's and like the fake dating that happened, where Henry, because they caught a picture of Henry and Alex, like, oh, are they dating? So they had to be like, nope, Henry is dating Alex's sister, June. And Alex is like, oh no, I'm dating my friend, what's her name? The vice president's granddaughter, whose name is Nora. He's dating her, and they both hate it, and is like, ah. And it's so cute, and I honestly like really love it. So I really liked this book. And the movie was fine. I honestly didn't mind the movie. Like, if I had to rate the movie, I'd say the movie was like a 4, but the book is a 5, so it's like, book is way better. I loved the book. It was so good. And I heard they're making a second movie, which I will watch, because I do want to see like where it goes, because I heard they're not making a second book. Like, she's not writing a second book, so I'm like, I'll watch the movie because I want to see the conclusion, because I just want them to be happy. Okay, moving on to Imposters. As I said, it's about Freya and Rafi, these two twins, and Rafi goes like as the imposter as Rafi to like this what are their names? The Pale Foxes, I think that's their name. And like she's there, and she's raised like to be a killer, to be like her sister's protector, but it also means her dad doesn't care about her. Her dad is awful, and I hate him, and he doesn't even get like anything. Like, you see him twice in this book, but otherwise you still hate him, because all of the characters have so much trauma from him, and it's awful. She's undercover, and she falls in love with Cole, who's the son of this place that she's at, and she falls in love with him, and that causes like a kind of a rift, because he's playing her at that point. Like, he's playing her to make sure he can trust her, although he knows in the beginning that he knows that, well, he thinks Rafi is having personality disorders, because he's like, sometimes she's super confident on all of these like security stuff that we have, and sometimes she's super withdrawn and like anxious and stuff, and like she might have personality disorders. But then eventually, like after his house gets blown up because of the dad, and he gives her 30 seconds to get out, and he full well knows she probably will not get out, but Cole helps her get out, and his house explodes with all of his family except his little brother, who was at school. So he's like distraught, and he tells her that like, yeah, something's wrong with you, and she's like, no, there's 2 of us, that might be why. And she's like, yeah, so one of them was like not good and the other was fine. Like, one of them was broken on the outside, like broken bones and stuff, that's Freya, and one of them is broken on the inside, like she's having psychological issues, that's Rafi, even though Freya never realized that. She's broken because she can't do anything, it's kind of heartbreaking, which I don't know how they like were able to make these problems in this book without it feeling adult, because it didn't feel adult, it felt kid, but the problems were adult, which was like, I really liked that. And I love the romance with Freya and Cole when they finally like tell each other the truth about everything. And then like they go to war basically against Freya and Rafi's dad. And she has to tell her secret to everyone, which she's never done before. And it feels relieving, but it also like kind of hurts her, because she the more she tells, the more she's kind of putting Rafi in danger by like her father knowing, and she knows that. So it is kind of heartbreaking, and she has to come into like her own person. She has to learn who Freya is, because Freya was never allowed to be Freya. She only had to be Rafi, which is, it's kind of heartbreaking. And then they break into the house like to rescue Rafi and like to shut down the systems, basically get her father out of power and put Rafi in power, because everyone loves Rafi. She's perfect, basically. Well, what the people see, obviously. And she's like, you know what? Rafi, who's also an amazing character, is like, let's do the speech together, little sister. Like, she loves her sister so much. She wants to protect her, but she knows she can't, because she wasn't trained that way, which is why she's so broken. She doesn't really know what her purpose is. So they make this speech together, and it's amazing, and it like sort of shifts stuff, but then Cole gets captured. So you know what Freya does? Because her sister was wearing a bomb necklace, which was going to blow her up if she stepped outside the door, which it actually wasn't, because Raffi, even though she spent more time with her, she knows her dad more than Freya does because she spent more time with him, obviously. She's like, he's not going to kill me. He needs me to, Mel. So she takes off and she escapes, but Freya stays behind. And she pretends to be Raffi again. Like, gets into her skin more than she ever had before. Because she's like, I need to trick my dad to find a way to get my boyfriend, basically. Which is so cute. I love their romance. It's adorable. But then she like walks into her dad and dad's like, we're gonna kill him. And she's like, why would we do that if we can make him your son-in-law? And then Cole, because he can't see through it, obviously, immediately, because she's acting as something completely different than he has ever seen her before. Because even when she was acting in the beginning as Raffi, she still had slight slips of Freya. But now she's acting like her butt off to be Raffi in front of her dad. So he's like, obviously, this can't be my girlfriend. So, but she says, like, after her dad sort of agrees, like, I mean, if you can figure out a way to get him to concede to this marriage. She's like, you know how steadfast I can be, which was like their little I love you to each other, because in the beginning he was like, I think you're steadfast. Well, not in the beginning, but towards like the end, he's like, I think you're steadfast. I think you're strong. I think you're that. He's like, I will never call anyone else steadfast. Like it was like their I love you, and it's cute and adorable and I love it. But she says, you know how steadfast I can be, while like looking at him to be like, I'm Freya, and he like listen. Like, I'll read you like the last part, which I really love. So. This part I really love. I'll persuade him, father. You know how persistent I can be when it comes to getting what I want. How steadfast. A flash of realization across Cole's face. Then he drops back into character, turning away from me defiant. Like it's, like he knows it's her now. Like, oh, I can't wait for the second. I mean, I know the second book's out, but I can't wait to buy it to figure out like, ooh, how it ends. Because that part got me like really excited. I think that's why I love it. Like that's why I love the romance, because that's the way that they communicated to each other. But I wonder if like the next book will get like a little bit more, because the rebellion now has Raffi with them, but the dad has Freya with him, which it's opposite of what it was, because in this book the rebellion had Freya and the dad had Raffi. So it's kind of flip-flop now, which I love. But it's also kind of heartbreaking because the sisters are apart from each other, and like that's literally all they've ever known. They've never been apart, and then they were apart for a long time, and then they were together for like such a short time. But this book, I really liked this book. So there's that. And so I will be reading this next, which I'm nervous, excited, / a little scared. Because I don't know if I'll like it as much as I like the first one, because I heard not everyone likes this one as much as they like the first one. So, I mean, I'm willing to try it, but I don't know. So, Iron Flame is up next. Well, if you liked this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, everyone.